My fiance sent me a cold text. The wedding is off. Expect a call from my lawyer. I was in the checkout line at the Central Market with a basket of frozen lasagna and trash bags when I saw it. The wedding is off. Expect a call from my lawyer. 8 words. No explanation, no emotion, like I was a contract that could be cancelled by SMS. I paid without thinking. Driving was automatic. I sat in the car for 15 minutes in silence with the notification still open on the screen. I didn't cry, I didn't shout, I just understood one thing: it wasn't only the wedding that was ending. It was my dignity she had just trampled. But what Valeria didn't know was that we had just signed a mortgage application together, for the house of her dreams. She chose it, decorated it in her head, had already shown it to her parents, and although she didn't know it, I still had control. That same night, without taking off my coat, I opened my laptop, went into the bank portal, and cancelled the application. 3 clicks. And with that, her castle of illusions collapsed. 2 days later, while I was eating lasagna on the couch, I got a message from an unknown number. Hello, I'm Paloma Benitez, attorney for Ms. Valeria Ibarra. Your cancellation of the mortgage could constitute contractual interference. I laughed. Now they were desperate. First the icy silence, and now please disguised as legalese. I didn't respond. Instead, I waited. And watched. Not even 24 hours passed before a mutual friend, Adriana, called me. Is it true you cancelled the house? Valeria's losing it. She already bought furniture and told her parents they'd have a guest room. I wanted to tell her that wasn't my problem, but I bit my tongue. She says you're doing it out of revenge, Adriana added. I wasn't doing it out of revenge, I was doing it for dignity, and something else. Weeks earlier I had already started to suspect. Late-night messages, vague excuses, badly synchronized work meetings, muffled laughter behind closed doors. There was something I didn't want to see, and now I couldn't ignore it. Valeria didn't just end things with me, she planned her exit, and with each call from her lawyer, each new attempt to negotiate, I realized I wasn't the one losing anything. She was. 2 days later, her father showed up at my apartment. I hadn't seen him since the dinner where he toasted how proud he was to welcome me into the family, but that day he brought no wine, only confusion. What happened with the house, he asked. Are you really coming as her emissary? I answered, arms crossed. No, I'm here because she won't tell us anything. 1 minute she says the wedding's on, the next she's screaming about furniture and invoices. I was about to tell him everything, but held back. She decided to end it like that. I'm just respecting that, I said. He left with his head down. And I knew the chaos was only beginning, because she hadn't left me, she wanted to erase me and control the narrative, but forgot I still had a voice. The first real crack came from someone unexpected, Franco, her cousin. We weren't close, but he wrote to me. I didn't realize how messy it all was until now. You dodged a bullet. Ask about Bruno. Bruno, a common name. Some guy from her wine parties, maybe. But the way Franco said it froze my blood. I checked his socials, mostly private, but in tagged photos I found one from a party. Her. Bruno's arm around her waist, her smile more intimate than any she'd ever given me. That weekend Valeria had told me she was sick, that she couldn't see me. A lie. In that moment, I stopped feeling pain and started feeling something else, focus. I no longer wanted to just leave. I wanted to erase every trace of us. Step 1. Contact the mortgage company to put on record that I was withdrawing due to a serious personal rupture. Step 2. Call Ramon, my old university classmate and a real estate attorney in Denver, who had offered me a job a year ago. I'd turned it down to stay close to Valeria's family. This time I accepted. Tuesday I signed the offer. Wednesday, hell was just beginning. Wednesday I woke up to 32 missed notifications, messages, calls, emails, not from her, from the bank. Someone had tried to move the $10,000 we had in our joint wedding account. All my money, bonuses, savings, every cent had come from me. Valeria always said she kept her finances separate for flexibility. The transaction was blocked as suspicious. She had tried to transfer everything to a personal account in her name. I froze the account, and just then a new email arrived. My client is entitled to a proportional share of the funds in the common account linked to the cancelled wedding. A lie. She hadn't put in a single dollar. Not one. Now she wanted to steal from me and have me call it a settlement. I didn't respond. I called Ramon. He said, "Do you have proof? If she's desperate, this is just starting." He was right. That night, for the first time since the infamous text, Valeria called me directly. Her voice was shaky, emotional, false. I didn't want it to be like this. I panicked. I didn't know how to talk to you. I didn't mean to hurt you. I listened twice. Then deleted the message. I didn't reply. Because I understood something. When someone realizes they can no longer manipulate you, they get scared, and Valeria was used to being in control. Thursday, I officially signed the new work contract. I packed the basics. I was ready to start from scratch. Friday, Adriana called again. Her voice was dim, like she was about to cry. "You should know. Valeria says she's pregnant. And that it's yours." My heart stopped. "How many weeks?" I asked. 8. Supposedly. 8 weeks ago Valeria was in her pre-wedding detox. She wouldn't let me touch her. Said she wanted to arrive pure to the honeymoon. The last time we were intimate was 9 weeks ago. It couldn't be mine, I already knew that. She was trying to tie me to her with a fake pregnancy, and worse, doing it while trying to empty the account and save the mortgage behind my back. I called Ramon and told him everything. He gave me the best advice of the week: make the first legal move. Take control before it's taken from you. The next day I hired a local family law attorney. Her name was Diana Solis. Cold as ice. Relentless. Exactly what I needed. She drafted a formal letter, everything, without euphemisms, denial of paternity pending DNA testing. There would be no emotional or financial support without biological confirmation. Any attempt to portray me as abusive would be considered defamation. We demanded a full declaration of her assets in case she intended to claim losses over the house. We sent it to Valeria's lawyer, and things exploded. That same afternoon Valeria called me 6 times. I didn't answer, but Diana did take a call from Paloma, her attorney. Valeria is distressed. She feels ambushed. She thinks this is getting out of hand. Diana was blunt, she made it public when she threatened legal action. My client merely responded. And something clicked in me: this wasn't just a lover's quarrel, it was a war over who kept control of the story, and I wasn't going to let her win. But the lowest blow was still to come, from someone entirely unexpected. Bruno. Saturday, 9:52 p.m. I was watching TV, trying not to think. Then a Facebook message arrived from a Bruno, no profile photo, just text: "We should talk. I don't want to be part of the game she's playing." I froze. My hands trembled as I typed, "What do you mean?" He replied in seconds: "She told me you two were already over. That the wedding was cancelled months ago and that you were just helping her with the house." My blood boiled. The wedding was cancelled the day I got that text message. Not before. "Since when have you been with her?" I asked. Silence. Then, for more than a month. "She said you were impulsive. That you had hit her." "What?" I typed. "That you had anger issues, that you broke things when you got mad." The air left my lungs. I had never laid a hand on her. Ever. The most intense thing we'd had were arguments about her need to put her friends first or how she scheduled our relationship like a business appointment. "Did you believe her?" I wrote. He took a while, then answered, "No. That's why I wrote to you. I want to know the truth." The next day I called Diana. I told her everything. Her response was immediate: "We're going to file a preventive defense in case she tries to fabricate abuse allegations." Valeria was desperate, and desperate people do the unthinkable. But I wasn't prepared for what came next. That same day the bank wrote to me. Valeria had tried to falsify a document to keep the mortgage going without me, a document with my forged signature. Now the bank was notifying the authorities, and I knew this was no longer just a heartbreak story. It was a criminal one. I forwarded everything to Diana. She didn't hesitate. We're going to the district attorney. This already crossed the line. Meanwhile, Valeria kept crumbling. Vague posts on social media, crying selfies, ambiguous phrases about betrayal, bad people who destroyed her. The victim show. But I didn't bite. It wasn't only about the money or the house, it was about justice, about not letting her rewrite the story as she pleased. Then came the final nail, a new message from Adriana. Her voice was a whisper. You won't believe this. Valeria is telling everyone she lost the baby. My stomach dropped. What? She posted it last night. She's getting condolences, messages of support. She says it was after the breakup. I went still. A miscarriage. After everything she tried, after I confronted her with dates that didn't add up, I didn't know if it was a lie or the truth, but I knew one thing: Valeria was trying to wash her hands with the final drama, the last act of her theater, becoming the total victim. But this time I had proof. I had Bruno. I had the bank. I had everything needed for the truth to come out, and I was determined to see it through. After Valeria faked a miscarriage to regain control of the narrative, I thought she'd hit bottom. I was wrong. Paloma, her lawyer, contacted Diana again, but this time the tone had completely changed. We understand things have escalated beyond expectations. Valeria is dealing with emotional issues. We just want to avoid further conflict. Translation: they were losing control. Diana was cutting. Your client forged mortgage documents, tried to empty an account, and now throws emotional lies. We're not letting it slide. And we didn't. We sent a final notice. If Valeria didn't stop her attempts at manipulation, we would file criminal charges. I thought that would stop her. But Valeria doesn't know how to surrender, not because she's strong, but because she thinks the world will always save her. That week her social media turned into a pathetic spectacle, crying videos, vague quotes like "some people destroy all that's good," selfies with tissues and captions like "I don't know how much more I can take." I didn't respond, I didn't fall for it, but the truth still hurt, because for years I thought I knew her. I thought that "I've got you," she whispered every night, was real. She wasn't that person. She never was. And I confirmed it when the bank called the following Saturday. It wasn't just another update, it was a formal apology and an alert. They had received another document from Paloma Benitez, attorney for Valeria, trying to reactivate the loan without me, using an obviously forged signature. The bank officially notified the authorities. It was no longer a matter of legal misunderstandings. It was fraud, a crime. I forwarded the email to Diana. Silence. Then a call: "This is serious. We're going to the prosecutor." What surprised me most was how Valeria sank further with every move. She thought she was controlling the situation, but every attempt exposed her more. Every lie fell apart on its own. Then the final blow. My phone rang on a Thursday afternoon. It was Valeria's father, again, but this time his voice wasn't formal or worried. It was defeated. "I have to apologize," he said. "I was wrong about everything." I stayed silent. I should have seen the signs. I should have known she was lying. Valeria has been playing with everyone. "What are you talking about?" I asked, trembling. And then he told me everything. Valeria had started seeing Bruno long before our relationship ended. She was never pregnant. She made it up. The miscarriage was another manipulation. She even borrowed money from her parents to keep up the facade that everything was fine. While I thought we were building a future, she was already weaving her exit web to run away as the victim. "I don't know how to fix this," he said, "but I'll do whatever it takes to see justice done. I've spoken to a lawyer. We'll cooperate with everything." I hung up, not knowing what to say. Part of me wanted to yell at him for not seeing it sooner, but another part knew that was the real closure. Not because he admitted it, but because finally someone else saw Valeria the way I saw her now, not as my ex-fiancé, but as a professional manipulator, a cold liar. I had no doubts left, only a decision: cut everything. Forever. I blocked her number, deleted all messages, photos, digital memories, packed her things in a box and left them at her parents' house, not in hatred, in closure. Valeria tried to contact me a few more times, emails, hidden numbers, a mutual friend telling me she just wants to talk. But there was nothing left to say. She had lost all power over me. Diana handled the rest, coordinated with the prosecutor, submitted evidence of the mortgage fraud, the attempts to drain the account, the false pregnancy claims, and the attempted defamation. Paloma stopped contacting us directly, and when she did, her tone was different. My client is in psychological treatment. We'd like to reach an agreement without escalating further. Too late. I wasn't looking for a fight anymore, I just wanted her gone from my life. To the outside world, Valeria was still the poor abandoned woman who lost a baby. But the people close to her already knew the truth. Bruno, her family, even Adriana, had all seen Valeria's real face, and that hurt her more than any legal consequence. It's been more than 18 months since that absurd afternoon in the market line. The message is still there on my old phone, which I kept as a reminder of what I'll never allow again. The wedding is off. Expect a call from my lawyer. 8 words that broke something inside me, but that, over time, also set me free. For months I asked myself what I did wrong, where I failed, why I didn't see the signs, until I understood that not every betrayal is your fault. Some people simply don't know how to love without destroying. What happened to Valeria? After the bank detected the forgery of my signature on the mortgage, a formal investigation began. Her lawyer tried to negotiate a private settlement, but Diana refused. This isn't just a breakup, she said. This is fraud, attempted swindle, and premeditated defamation. The bank reported the situation to state authorities. Valeria didn't go to prison, but she did receive a significant financial penalty and a temporary ban on applying for mortgages or personal loans. She lost her banking standing, and with it, her independence plans. Her parents stopped covering her expenses. The last I heard from Adriana, Valeria had moved to Phoenix to live with a friend. She tried to rebuild her life as if nothing had happened, but things were no longer the same. Bruno left her as soon as he learned she'd made up the pregnancy. And when her friends discovered what she'd tried to do to me, fabricate a history of emotional abuse to trap me legally, they turned their backs. She went from perfect fiancé to the girl everyone wanted distance from. On social media she tried to reinvent herself, phrases like healing is an act of rebellion or sometimes people don't understand your pain, and that's okay adorned sad selfies and floral posts, but the comments dwindled, the interactions vanished. Valeria had lost what she valued most, her image. What happened to me? After signing my new contract in Denver, I moved. It wasn't easy. At first I felt like I was running away, that if I left, she had one. But it wasn't that. I left to breathe, to start over, without every corner reminding me of her perfume, her shouting, her manipulations disguised as tears. Coming back to myself was slow. For the first months I lived with the bare minimum, a mattress on the floor, a borrowed coffee maker, boxes instead of furniture. But it was mine. The silence didn't hurt anymore, it was peace. Over time I went back to writing, reading, cooking without being criticized for not knowing how to season a salad. I went out without fear of getting 10 messages scolding me for not replying in 5 minutes. I became myself again, or at least the best version of who I'd been. And yes, I met someone. Not immediately, not like a movie. We met in a small bookstore while reaching for the same book. She joked about who grabbed it first. I, by reflex, offered to let her keep it. She insisted we share it. I'll read it first and then pass it to you, but only if you give me your number. I laughed. I hadn't laughed like that in a long time. Her name is Julia, and she's not like Valeria. She doesn't need to be the center of attention. She doesn't want to control every aspect of my day. She doesn't try to manipulate with silences or looks. Julia just is, with a calm presence, honesty, questions that don't invade, and hugs that ask for nothing in return. I told her my whole story, every detail. I expected her to pull away, to think I came with too much baggage, but she looked at me and said, "What they did to you doesn't define you. What you did after does." I heard from Valeria once more. I received a letter with no return address. I recognized it instantly, her perfect handwriting, blue ink. I wish everything had been different. I'm not looking for excuses. I just want to understand when I ruined it all. I thought I was punishing you, but I only punished myself. I hope you're well. I don't want to reply. I just needed to say it. I read it 3 times. I didn't cry, I didn't smile, I felt nothing. And that's when I knew I was healed. I held no grudge, needed no public apology, desired no revenge. I just wanted to live without her shadow reaching me, and I had already achieved that. Sometimes losing is the best thing that can happen to you. I lost a wedding, a house, a fake stability, but I gained something more valuable, the certainty that I don't need to beg for love. Valeria broke me, but she also showed me where the crack was. Now I know, love isn't begged for, respect isn't negotiated, and dignity, never, never, goes on the table. I never looked back, not because I want to forget, but because I've learned everything I needed from that chapter, and I'm writing a new one.